Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Tessie. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, depending on where you are watching from. Hope you all are doing well, and thank you so much for stopping by. So my people, as military coup has become the order of the day in Africa, Nigeria lawmakers are now in fear as they warn President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other African leaders to tread with caution, because the way it is now, anybody can be next. We also have some prominent Nigerians warning the federal government of Nigeria not to provoke the Nigeria military. I'm gonna let you guys watch that video after I finish reading the statement from the lawmakers, but I want to beg you guys, before we continue, please help me by liking and also sharing this video so that YouTube and Facebook can recommend it to more people. And this news here reads: Nigerian lawmakers warns African leaders to tread with caution as military coup spread across Africa. The minority caucus of the House of Representatives has condemned the recent spate of military coups in Africa, saying it is a setback for democracy on the continent. Politics Nigeria report that the political parties that made up the caucus include the People's Democratic Party (PDP), the Labour Party (LP), New Nigerian People's Party (NPP), African Democratic Congress (ADC), Young People's Party (YPP), All Progressive Grand Alliance (APGA), and the Social Democratic Party (SDP). In a statement issued by the leader of the caucus, Honorable Kingsley Chinda, the lawmakers said the coups are a result of bad governance. Thank God that they know, okay? Inordinate ambitions and a disconnect between leaders and the citizens. Chinda said the coups are also a warning sign of likely dangers ahead if African leaders do not do the right thing. He urged African leaders to pursue good governance and enthrone the rule of law, saying this is the only way to stop the military interventions in democratic governance. The minority caucus also condemned the plans by the African Union, United Nations, or any other global association to use force or coercion to restore democratic governance in Africa. The lawmakers said the use of force would only worsen the situation and make it more difficult to achieve peace and stability. They called on all African leaders to work together to address the root cause of the coups, such as bad governance and poverty. The statement reads: it is extremely sad, deeply worrisome, and pathetically shameful that the continent in the past few years has witnessed a sudden rise in military coups in some countries, thereby rolling back the gains of the democratic struggles for the return to civil rule of the late 1980s and 1990s. It is totally condemnable that in the past decade, military purge has taken place in Sudan, Mali, Tunisia, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Niger Republic, and now Gabon. That these countries are in western, northern, and central region of Africa, which represent more than half of the entire continent, cause for serious concerns and debilitating worries. Confronted with the pains and miseries foisted by these sit-tight leaders on hopeless citizens who have been going through years and decades of bad governance, colossal economic hardship, serious social deprivation, deep-rooted poverty, deliberate intimidation, and corrosive lack, military intervention of any guise will not only be welcomed but celebrated by citizens of these countries. Fact is, having suffered long and painful years of total neglect by their leaders through official insensitivity, deliberate class segregation, enforcement of inimical political and economic programs, and other negative decisions and actions, sadly, the sound of martial music has become a welcome relief and friend for citizens. The now frequent coups on the continent are also adduced to the sit-tight obnoxious desires of some of these leaders who continuously manipulate and compromise the system to achieve their egoistic and undemocratic ambitions. He noted, revolutions begin with seemingly innocuous incident, but things spiral out of hand before anyone realizes it. Recall how the French Revolution and Arab Spring began. With the vagaries of personal and national challenges that have bedevilled many countries, any ambitious group of military officers is likely to leverage on the negative situations and force themselves on the people. The precarious situation and numerous challenges that stifled meaningful growth and development in countries that are witnessing military governance calls for urgent and immediate intervention by other frontline African leaders, African Union, United Nations, and relevant global bodies. However, it is imperative to state in clear terms that using and deploying brute force and aggression in whatever guise is not the solution to the problems at hand. While the caucus condemns in entirety any plans by either the AU, UN, or any global association to use force or coercion in restoring democratic governance in Gabon, Niger Republic, or any other country in Africa, we urge all leaders in Africa to pursue and enthrone good governance. This is the only panacea towards arresting and stopping unnecessary military interruption in constitutional democracy across the continent. This is long overdue and absolutely necessary. When leaders in Africa begin to meet the expectations of the people through selfless service, resourceful and responsive delivering of good governance, adherence to the rule of law, and protection of persons and properties, military incursion will definitely take the back seat. Honorable Chinda said. All right, my people, and that is it for you all. It is a long statement, but I had to read it all for you guys to get what is inside. Thank God that they understand that it is not just that these people wake up one day and decide to take over, that the cause of all of this military coup is as a result of bad governance. So if they don't even talk anything, addressing that alone, I'm okay with it. So with that being said, I'm going to let you guys watch this video.
We may be gathered here discussing democracy. Democracy is under threat in Africa. Very serious. I'm sure you know what happened yesterday. You know what happened last month. And it's going to continue. Oh yes, there's no apology about it. I can predict with mathematical exactitude the next country, very close to us, that will experience a coup very soon. Where a man currently suffering from dementia, who has been passed since 1982. What did he do yesterday because of what happened in Ghana? Let me change the commander of the army. You are deceiving yourself. There was a coup. Attempted coup in 2019 in Gabon. The guy survived, but you know what has happened? Yesterday, he also suffers from stroke and dementia. He didn't know where he was. He said, I don't know where I am. But please help me. That is what they have reduced Africa to. You needed to have seen that guy when there was very insulting this their meeting, going to Europe to meet about Africa. Franco summit. The guy couldn't walk. And none of his colleagues in the club of African dictators, African Union, none of them will say, gentlemen, why don't you resign and let a functional person take over the affairs of your country? This guy had stroke since 2009. With the wealth of that country, he couldn't establish a hospital. He was in Britain for years and then went to Morocco. Just like Mobutu Sese Seko, 35 years in power, no hospital. Eyadema was being flown to Israel after 32 years in office. He couldn't fix a hospital like this. This gang of looters here. And that is what they have made of Africa. So please, I think Sheun was talking about some comparison. Sheun, up to 3 years ago, all the member states of ECOWAS were under one form of civil rule or another. Don't call them democratically elected government. Civil rule. 3 years ago. But what has happened? We have recorded 4. The number is ongoing. Chad, now Gabon, they are all close to us. But what's the link between Nigeria and Chad and Gabon? How many Nigerians are there? If you must know, many Nigerians are trading in Gabon. We have a lot of relationship. That country is one of the richest in Africa. It's the 5th largest producer of oil. The population is 2.3 million. Everybody should be living like a king. But the poverty rate is 33%. In that country, small country, the Bongos took over the country with their friends, buying riches, houses all over the world, including France particularly. Nigeria has a GDP of 4,900 now as of 2020. While Gabon, the per capita is $14,000. But while poverty rate, while 40.1% of Nigeria live below poverty level, in Gabon is 33%. That's why you had the coup. And like I said, Senegal is the only country that has not experienced a coup in West Africa. But if care is not taken, that country will go under soon because you are the man. Macky Sall, who said he wanted a third term, and people said no. We chased out President Abdullah Wahab, and you took advantage. Now you want a third term. The people of Senegal have defeated him on the street. You know what he's doing now? He wants to plant his own agent. So the main opposition leader, he got him on a Trump charge of rape. He's in jail. So that country is in trouble. None of these guys, including those who are planning to invade Niger, none of them will say preventive diplomacy. Can we talk to these our colleagues to allow democracy in this country? One of them came here 2 weeks ago, and I was just laughing, from Central African Republic, to pledge the loyalty of ECOWAS. The Central African Republic, to say we are with you in invading Niger. We want democracy. In his country, the guy had just removed judges who told him it is illegal to have a third term. Central African Republic, the country of Bokassa. Now, he removed the judges who gave that ruling and manipulated his way for a third term. The guy in Côte d'Ivoire saying, Nigeria, please let us invade. Alassane Ouattara. You know how he emerged? That the whole of Africa, the entire people of that country, over 3,000 people were killed for him to emerge. Now he's currently having his own third term. And none of these guys condemn him. Twice now, ECOWAS has attempted to fix a term, 2 terms for president. In 2015, it was defeated by Togo and the Gambia. In 2022, last year, it was defeated by Togo, Senegal, and Côte d'Ivoire. Now, the guy in Togo also expects something soon. In Togo, he and his father have been in power since 1963. Just like this guy who has just been removed, he and his father have been in power for 56 years. Even if you are a traditional ruler, there are people who are waiting for you now. For you, one ruling house, we call them ruling houses. One ruling house can never be allowed to spend 56 years in the African traditional, political system. So why are these guys pretending that we are running a democracy? And for here, please, Honorable Senator, please be careful. Disciplined Senator, be careful. Don't provoke Nigerians to mutiny. Please. Because some of the things going on there, we're in trouble. Sir, 70 billion naira for palliatives for 469 people. And when we say no, they say no. It's for facelift of the National Assembly. No, sir. 3 years ago, 37 billion naira was the amount for facelift of the National Assembly. That contract has not been fully executed. There is no review of the contract. So you can't talk of 70 billion naira for facelift. Secondly, 40 billion naira to buy exotic cars now for leadership of the National Assembly. It's not going to be allowed. The latest provocative news from the National Assembly is that 54 billion naira has been earmarked for constituency projects for 360 members of the House of Reps. It has come to 150 million per person. Under these austere conditions in town. So when these figures are oozing out of the National Assembly, Nigerians have been provoked. And enemies of democracy have been provoked. The military has been honest to say we are under pressure. You didn't read it. To dismantle this rickety political system. But somebody told them, go and deny it. And they denied. Oh, we are not under pressure. But we can read between the lines. And that is why we can't gather here talking of democracy that is under threat.